So the last tense that we have for verbs is the passive perfect tense. And this tense is going to deal primarily with the fourth principal part. So looking at our examples from earlier, amo and lego, we're both going to use amatum and lectum, which is the fourth principal part. So in the passive perfect tense, which is the first one, all you have to do is take the fourth principal part that we talked about earlier and add a form of sum to the end, and it's going to be separate. So for amatum, you have just sum, est, sumus, estis, sunt. And so those are the different forms of sum. And so you're just going to stick it right on to the end of your fourth principal part. Now, there are different endings for these verbs when they're being used in the fourth principal part. You're just going to have different kinds for the different genders that you're using. So for masculine, you'll have us-i, for feminine, I, and for neuter, a. And so that's just going to be for the fourth principal part that has been underlined here. So amatum sum is going to translate, I have been loved. Our next tense is going to be the pluperfect passive. So just like the other one, we're going to take the fourth principal part, except now we're going to add different forms of eram. So as you'll see with our example that we have here, although this time amata is feminine, we're just going to have eram, eros, erot, eramus, eratis, and erant. You'll notice that they follow the normal verb endings, the mus, tis, unt, all of that stuff. So it'll be pretty easy to catch on. And for the pluperfect passive, it's going to translate as I had been loved. For the very last one, we're going to have the future passive. So this time, you're going to take the fourth principal part and you're going to add different forms of arrow to the end. So this time using a masculine verb, we have arrow, eris, erit, eramus, eritis, and errant. And so the future perfect passive is going to translate as I will have been loved.